This might shock you. Your silence hurts women more than your words ever could. You think staying quiet is just protecting your peace. But from her side, silence is louder than anything you could say. It makes her wonder. It makes her spiral. It makes her question if she ever mattered to you. See, words give comfort. Arguments give clarity. But silence forces truth. And that's exactly why most men underestimate its power. In this video, I'll show you why silence shifts attraction, flips control, and reveals exactly where she stands with you. Now, let me make you a promise. By the end of this video, you'll understand why silence is the most powerful move you have in dating dynamics. Not ghosting, not avoidance. I'm talking about intentional silence, the kind that shifts power and reveals the truth. Here's exactly how we're going to break it down. 1, why silence hits women harder than words ever could. 2, the psychology behind her reaction when you go quiet. 3, how silence creates obsession and curiosity. 4, the difference between weak silence and strong silence. 5, when your silence makes her chase you. 6, how silence turns into real power for you. And 7, the wake-up call most men need to hear before they talk themselves out of attraction. Stay with me. Because once you see this, you'll never waste another paragraph text or over-explained apology again. You'll know exactly when to speak, when to pause, and when to let your silence do the heavy lifting. This isn't about games. It's about respect, standards, and knowing your value. And trust me, women feel it instantly. Let's start with the first truth. Silence hits women harder than words ever could. Here's why. Words give her something to hold on to. An argument, a boundary, even rejection, those are scripts. They give her a role, a response, a way to soothe her ego. But silence removes the script. And when there's no script, there's no control. That's what makes it cut so deep. Most women are used to men chasing. They're used to explanations, apologies, reassurance. It's predictable. A man says too much. She pulls away. He chases harder. Same pattern every time. But when you step outside that pattern and go silent, everything changes. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you've been texting her every morning. She replies, maybe half-heartedly, maybe a little late, but still, she knows you'll show up. Then one day, you don't. No good morning. No check-in at lunch. No long paragraph at midnight. At first, she shrugs it off, tells herself she doesn't care. But by day 2, her mind starts racing. Did I lose him? Did I say something wrong? Is he talking to someone else? That uncertainty eats at her. See, silence doesn't just create distance. It creates tension. And tension is the oxygen of attraction. It's what keeps her attention locked in. Here's the truth words. Release pressure. Silence builds it. Arguments give her power because she can argue back. Reassurance gives her comfort because she knows she still matters. But silence forces her to face how much she actually values you. If you're just another guy, she won't care. But if you matter, silence makes her restless. She replays your last interaction, combs through old texts, even checks your social media to see if you've moved on. That's how powerful it is. And this is the key I want you to remember. Silence is not about punishment. It's about positioning. It's the moment where her true feelings surface without you having to say a single word. So never underestimate it. Words tell her where you stand. Silence forces her to reveal where she stands with you. And that's why silence will always hit harder than anything you could say. Now let's get into the psychology, because when a man goes silent, a woman's reaction is rarely calm or logical. It's emotional, It's obsessive, and it's wired into how we process relationships. At the core, women crave emotional certainty. We want to know where we stand with you, how you feel, and what your attention really means. Even the most independent woman, the one who says she doesn't care, still wants reassurance that she holds a place in your world. Silence takes that certainty away. Suddenly, she's not sure if she still matters. That's when the fear of loss kicks in. And trust me, fear of loss is one of the most powerful motivators in human psychology. Think about it. If she argues with you, at least she still has a line of communication. If you're upset, she can push, pull, or explain. But silence leaves her powerless. There's nothing to push against. No script, no clarity. And that lack of control drives her crazy. Here's a relatable example. You stop replying for a day. She checks her phone more than usual. By the second day, she's watching your stories, looking for clues. By the third, she's replaying every detail of your last conversation. Did I sound distant? Did I offend him? Is he losing interest? That spiral isn't about logic. It's about ego. Because here's the kicker. Women equate attention with validation. When you give your energy, it reassures us we're desired. When that attention disappears, it feels like rejection. It's not just silence, it's your energy being withheld. And energy, to a woman who values you, is addictive. But here's where silence becomes even more powerful. It's diagnostic. It reveals the truth. If she truly cares, she'll feel the silence and move toward you. She'll check in, send a text, find a reason to reconnect. If she doesn't, she won't. And that tells you everything without you ever asking. Understand, this silence isn't absence. It's a trigger. It challenges her certainty. It unsettles her ego. And it forces her to reveal how important you really are to her. And that's why silence used from a place of strength isn't just quiet. It's a psychological mirror. Here's what you need to understand about women. We are wired to notice changes, shifts in tone, patterns, attention. We feel them instantly. And when a man suddenly goes quiet, it doesn't just catch our attention. It triggers curiosity. And curiosity is the seed of obsession. Think about it. If a woman knows everything about you, your routine, your texts, your predictable check-ins, she gets comfortable. She can anticipate every move. But the moment you break that pattern with silence, it creates a gap she can't explain. And human nature hates gaps. We're wired to fill them in. Here's how it plays out. You stop sending goodnight texts. The first night she shrugs. The second night, she wonders. By the third, she's scrolling your Instagram, checking if you're online, zooming in on your pictures, reading into who liked your posts. She starts noticing you again because now she can't predict you. That unpredictability makes you magnetic. The less you give, the more she wants to know. The quieter you are, the louder her thoughts become. And that curiosity pulls her closer without you saying a single word. But let me be clear, not all silence creates obsession. Weak silence where you're quiet but still lurking on her post, indirectly begging for her attention, kills attraction. Strong silence when you genuinely step back, focus on your own life, and hold your ground. That's the kind that makes her lean in. Here's why strong silence communicates discipline. It shows self-control. It tells her you're not desperate for her attention because you have a life beyond her. And women are drawn to that. So when you go quiet the right way, you don't just create space. You create mystery. You create a mental puzzle She feels compelled to solve. And the more she tries to solve it, the deeper she invests. Remember, this curiosity is addictive. And your silence, if it comes from strength, not weakness, is the spark that fuels it. So don't underestimate it. Words explain, silence provokes, and provocation, when done right, is what keeps attraction alive. Let's make one thing crystal clear. Not all silence is equal. Some silence makes a woman respect you more. Other silence makes her lose respect instantly. That's the difference between weak silence and strong silence. Weak silence comes from insecurity. It's when you stop texting, but deep down you're glued to your phone, waiting for her to notice. You go quiet, but you're still watching her stories, liking her posts, or dropping little hints to grab her attention. That's not power, that's passive begging. And trust me, women can feel it. We can sense when a man is pretending to be strong but secretly hoping we'll rescue his ego. Weak silence doesn't build attraction. It creates pity, frustration, or even disrespect. Now, strong silence, that's a different story. Strong silence comes from self-control. It's when you step back, not because you're afraid of rejection, but because you value yourself enough to protect your energy. You're not waiting by the phone. You're living your life. You're working on your goals, your fitness, your friendships. Your validation doesn't come from her response. And that's what makes it magnetic. Here's the key. Weak silence is reactive. It's you trying to manipulate her into giving attention back. Strong silence is intentional. It's you holding your frame, maintaining dignity, and letting her reveal where she really stands with you. Women respect strong silence because it shows us something rare, a man who isn't easily controlled. We test men, sometimes on purpose, sometimes without realizing it. When a man collapses under pressure, starts over-explaining, apologizing, or chasing, we lose respect. But when he stays calm, grounded, and silent, it tells us he's solid. And that steadiness, that's extremely attractive. So here's the bottom line. Silence only works if it's backed by strength. If you're faking it, she'll feel it. But if your silence comes from genuine confidence, it speaks louder than any words you could say. Remember, this weak silence says, I hope you notice me. Strong silence says, I know my value. And that difference changes everything. There comes a moment where silence flips the script. At first, a woman might brush it off. She convinces herself she doesn't care. She tells herself she's the one in control. But as time stretches, if she values you, the silence starts pressing on her. And suddenly, the dynamic changes. She starts chasing you. Let me give you an example. She's used to you always texting first. She's used to your good morning messages, your check-ins during the day, your late night replies. It's consistent, it's reliable, and because it's always there, she starts to take it for granted. She responds slower. She gives less effort. Maybe she even acts dismissive, but then one day you stop. No explanation, no long speech, just quiet. At first, she tries to play it cool, thinking he'll be back. But the next morning, there's no text. At lunch, still nothing. That night, silence again. And that's when she feels it, the absence of your presence. The gap where your energy used to be now. Instead of being pursued, she feels unsettled. And that unsettled feeling sparks action. She sends the first text. She checks your social media. She looks for reasons to reach out, even small ones. Hey, Did you watch that new show? Or I just remembered something funny you said. Those aren't random. Those are tests to re-engage you. Here's the truth. Most men miss women chase when they feel your energy pulling away. Silence makes her realize your attention was never guaranteed. And the moment it's no longer guaranteed, it becomes valuable. But here's the catch. You can't fake it. If you're sitting there waiting for her to chase, your anxious energy will leak through. She only chases when your silence is genuine, when it comes from self-respect, not strategy. So yes, silence can absolutely flip the dynamic, but it only works when you stop needing her validation and start valuing your own peace. That's when she feels the shift. That's when she comes forward. And that's when the chase begins. Let's shift the focus. Silence isn't just about what it does to her, it's about what it does for you. Because when you use silence the right way, it doesn't just flip the dynamic. It gives you back your power. Most men don't realize how much power they give away through over-explaining, over-texting, over-chasing. Every time you type another paragraph when she's already pulled back, that's energy handed over for free. Silence stops that leakage. Silence is restraint. And restraint is power. Here's the truth. The man who can stay calm, who can hold his ground in silence, communicates something rare: discipline. And women respect discipline more than desperate effort. But it's not just about what she feels. Silence resets the frame of the relationship. Instead of you always reacting to her, now she has to react to you. Instead of you being predictable, you become unpredictable. That shift alone forces her to see you differently. And here's another layer. Most men overlook silence creates space, not just for her to reflect, but for you to grow. When you're not glued to your phone, begging for replies, you can redirect that energy into your fitness, your focus, your friendships, your finances. You become more magnetic simply by living your life. Picture this. You step back, and instead of staring at her profile picture, you hit the gym, crush your work goals, or spend time with people who genuinely value you. Suddenly, your silence isn't empty, it's full of movement. And that movement makes you more attractive without you even trying. Now, let me be clear. Silence isn't about avoidance. If you're quiet because you're scared to speak your truth, that's weakness. But if you're silent because you won't waste energy where it's not valued, that's strength. And women notice the difference instantly. So remember this, your silence isn't punishment. It's positioning. It says, I value my energy. I don't need to fight for space in your world. Either you value me or you lose me. And that is real power. Here's the wake-up call. Most men need to hear you're not losing women because you're not good enough. You're losing them because you can't stop talking yourself out of attraction. Think about it. She pulls back, and instead of stepping back with dignity, you panic, you explain, you convince. You send 3 messages where silence would have said more, and every extra word lowers your value. She doesn't see a man she has to win over. She sees a man trying to win her over. And once that flips, attraction fades fast. Understand this, when a woman is losing interest, the worst thing you can do is flood her with attention. That only proves she has all the control. But when you step back into silence, when you stop giving her the validation she once took for granted, you force her to feel the absence of your presence. An absence, not arguments, is what makes her reevaluate you. I know silence feels uncomfortable. It feels like doing nothing, but silence is never nothing. Silence is discipline. Silence is restraint. And women respect restraint more than desperate effort. So if you've been that man sending paragraphs at 2 a.m., explaining why you're different, trying to convince her you're the good guy. This is your wake-up call. Stop. Stop rescuing. Stop proving. Stop auditioning. She doesn't need more of your words. She needs to feel the loss of your energy. And if that silence doesn't bother her, believe it. That tells you everything you need to know, because here's the hard truth. Silence will never hurt you. It only hurts her. And if it doesn't, she was never invested in the first place. So the next time you're tempted to chase, remember this. Your silence isn't weakness, it's strength. And if you can trust it, if you can hold your frame, you won't just change how women see you, you'll change how you see yourself. Now, let's get practical. Because knowing the psychology is one thing, but you also need boundaries. You can actually here's a simple framework. Invite once, confirm once, match effort. After that silence, that rule alone will save you from overgiving. Let me give you a few microscripts you can copy, and if she's flacking, no stress. Let's skip this week. I've got a lot going on. That shows you're not waiting around. If she reappears after pulling back, good to hear from you. I'm free Thursday at 7 or Sunday at 3, pick one. Direct. Not games. If she's testing or creating drama, I'm not into back and forth. Let's talk when you're free. Calm, non-reactive, and if you're done, we want different things. I'm going to step back, wishing you well, clean exit. No over-explanation. The key is this. Your words are short, strong, and final, not chasing, not begging, not essays. You state your position once, then let silence carry the weight. That's how you set boundaries with class and make her respect them. Here's what I want you to take away. Your silence isn't punishment. It's positioning. It's not about ignoring her. It's about valuing yourself. It says, I give my energy where it's respected. If she feels that, she'll lean back in. If she doesn't, you just saved yourself months of wasted time. So ask yourself, where has silence already revealed the truth for you? Maybe you went quiet and she chased. Maybe you stayed silent and she disappeared. Either way, silence gave you clarity. I want to hear your story. Drop a comment below and finish this sentence. My silence showed me _______. I'll be reading and responding, because your experiences will help other men see the power of this. If this video opened your eyes, hit like. Make sure you subscribe and share this with the friend who can't stop sending long paragraph texts at 2 a.m. Trust me, he needs it. And stay tuned, because in the next video, I'll break down the exact texts that kill attraction versus the ones that build desire. You won't want to miss it. Remember, silence isn't empty. Silence is evidence.